Hi everyone, this is Carolyn Speaks, the State of Our World on Thursday, March 25th, 2021. So what is it? Good, bad, or indifferent? All three. The coronavirus is still with us, still causing havoc. People are getting vaccinated. People are still complaining about having to be in lockdown, about having to be only go out when they need to. It's only socialize with those in your immediate household and wearing a mask. They're still protesting all that stuff. So why are they having a problem? I don't know, but they are, and we have to really be careful that we don't have another surge of the virus. But unfortunately, it's not a good idea to be protesting the virus. You should be wanting to protect people and confusion. Now, the vaccine is going out. Right now we have 30,196,334 U.S. cases. We have over 542,000 fatalities from this virus. Fewer and fewer people are being hospitalized. Fewer and fewer cases each day, but we still have a lot of new cases each day. And 542 plus thousand fatalities is nothing to diminish. It's very serious. So now there's a lot of other things going on in the world. The Biden administration is working hard to get everybody vaccinated. They're doing a good job. They were left with a mess by the Trump administration. Trump said it was a hoax, fake news, and he had all his followers believe that. So we're working on changing that, but it's going to be hard to change people's perceptions, his followers. So we're working on it. I think President Biden and Vice President Harris are doing a good job. Now, the coronavirus pandemic had profiteers. How U.S. billionaires like Amazon's Jeff Bezos saw wealth grow by $1.3 trillion. He earns about $7 million a day. This virus, this pandemic, really helped his bank account. Now, so how do we keep people from profiteering? There should be a law against profiteering. And his employees, that is, he owns the Washington Post. He's very liberal, progressive newspaper, but he also owns Amazon, which just sends things to people. It's like a distribution company competing with the post office. So anyway, they do packages, and he's treating his workers terribly. There's union voting going on now. Hopefully they will vote favorably to create a union. Okay, now also, on January 6th, we had an insurrection at the Capitol building, and 1 in 5 Capitol insurrectionists are tied to the U.S. military. Soldiers are targets for extremist recruitment. So, they have 1 in 5 people at the Capitol riots, coup, were in the military before. Now, Burma is a country that was colonized by the British for their oil resources, and then they gave Burma their freedom by turning it over to the military. So the military, after 50 years, is going to go civilian. Well, it was civilian for a few years, and now the military took it back. They had a coup, and the Burmese rulers, the military, were punishing and demonizing and terrorizing the minority group in Burma called the Rohingya. and they fled. Many of them fled Burma, and they went to Bangladesh. Bangladesh, a very poor country, but they took them in. But those who were in uh, Bangladesh, they suffered another blow as Cox's Bazar, the world's largest refugee camp, burned down. And these people suffered horribly in Burma. The Burmese military were attacking them, they were raping and assaulting the women, they were killing everybody. And the world didn't step in to do anything. I remember a long time ago we had Rwanda and Burundi, and the world didn't step in. And now we have Burma, and we've had various problems when the so-called civilized world does not step in to help the people. So I'm hoping, they say they're sanctioning the leaders of Burma, military leaders. I wish they could just go in and get rid of them. Now, but I guess you can't do that. Can't invade another country. Now, also, Yemen is the new government of Yemen is being contested by Saudi Arabia. I think it's kind of like different factions of Islam are um, fighting over Yemen, and Iran is on one side, I guess Saudi Arabia on the other. But the Yemen enters its 7th year of U.S.-backed Saudi-led war that caused the world's worst humanitarian crisis. Saudi Arabia is blocking the ports. Food can't come in. People are starving. And many people are being killed in the war, and many people are just starving to death. So resources can't come in. Of course, the harbor is blocked by the Saudis. And the Saudis said they want to have a ceasefire, but they keep fighting. And then the people who they're fighting against in Yemen are the Hutus, and they want a meaningful ceasefire. So anyway, the U.S. has been backing this war in Yemen for in its 7th year now, which would be the whole of the Trump administration and a lot of the Obama administration. Now we have the Biden administration. So hopefully Biden will be able to end this tragedy, stop backing Saudi Arabia. Saudi Arabia stones women to death, and they also behead people. They have a lot of oil, but we don't need their oil. We have a lot of our own. We have a lot of clean energy. So let me just drop Saudi Arabia. They don't do anything for peace anywhere. Let Saudi Arabia go on its own. All right. Now, in addition to that, we have other things going on in the world and other things that have occurred that we're remembering. New details revealed about U.S. support for the 1976 coup in Argentina and dictatorship. In Argentina, thousands marched in Buenos Aires Wednesday to mark the 45th anniversary of the 1976 coup that ushered in a bloody U.S.-backed dictatorship under which as many as 30,000 people were killed and disappeared. Lita Boitano is the president of Families of the Disappeared and Detained for Political Reasons. Lita Boitano said, "What I am feeling is that I never felt my children so close like this year. My children are part of the 30,000 disappeared. They are part of the group that are never named or that are barely named, the more than 10,000 political prisoners, the thousands killed by the genocidal dictatorship." The National Security Archive has revealed new details about how the U.S. government was in direct contact with the coup plotters in Argentina prior to the overthrow of Isabel Perón's government on March 24, 1976. Declassified documents show then CIA Director George H.W. Bush, who became a president later, briefed President Gerald Ford on a possible coup almost 2 weeks before it happened. The U.S. government also told the Argentine military in advance that it would recognize the new regime. At the time, the State Department was privately acknowledging a coup would lead to military rule for an extended duration and of unprecedented severity. The U.S.-backed dictatorship in Argentina would continue from 1976 to 1983. So we definitely have blood on our hands for Argentina. And there's another coup that was done in Chile, where we supported that coup as well. I don't know, we keep supporting these coups, and people don't want someone to take over their government. Then we got to get a good government in Latin America. Our country is against that. Like we had a Bolivia government run by an indigenous Bolivian, and we were opposed to that. But that is still, they're still there. They came back, and then we had Venezuela. They had a socialist government that was helping the people. We were against that. So this government cannot control our government cannot control the world, and we have to be held. Our government has to be held accountable for all of its crimes. Okay, now, in addition to that, we have other things going on in the world. We have the coronavirus, which continues to take more lives and create new cases. And our country gives a lot of money in foreign aid to Israel, billions, which they in turn use to buy our military equipment. So we're basically subsidizing the defense industry here. And then Israel doesn't seem to have any restrictions on what they can do, and we give very little money to the Palestinians. And now Doctors Without Borders urges Israel to help vaccinate Palestinians. Israel has become the first country to fully vaccinate more than half of its adult population, but few Palestinians living in the occupied territories have been vaccinated. On Wednesday, Doctors Without Borders urged Israel to immediately help slow the spread of the coronavirus in the occupied territories where cases are spiking. Israel has refused to provide personal protective equipment, and now we have vaccines to the Palestinians living in the occupied territories of East Jerusalem, the West Bank, and Gaza. And they get away with it. I don't understand. But I hope things will change. Amy Goodman of Democracy Now! Is very brave to take on this issue. The Israeli-Palestinian conflict is like the third rail in U.S. politics. Like, I don't know if you're familiar with trains and subways, but the third rail on a subway is the rail that's electrified, so you don't want to step on that. So anyway, that's the situation we have now. And hopefully, President Biden and Vice President Harris do something to help remedy that situation. Now, thank you for joining us this evening of Thursday, March 25th, 2021, for a meeting of Caroline Speaks the State of Our World. I hope you'll be back with us again tomorrow for another meeting, and I hope you'll continue to stay safe, practice social distancing, only go out when you have to, and only socialize with those in your immediate household. And remember, stay safe. Stay safe. All right. Now, before we go, I'd like to sing a little song. I don't know all the words, so I'll sing what I know. It's an old song. It's, how does it go again? Okay. It's, yes, it is an old song, as usually I don't know all the words, but I'm going to try. Now I lay me down to sleep, and I pray the Lord my soul to keep. Angels watching over me, my Lord, angels watching over me. All day, all night, angels watching over me, my Lord. All day, all night, angels watching over me. Now I lay me down to sleep, angels watching over me, my Lord. Pray the Lord my soul to keep, angels watching over me. All day, all night, angels watching over me, my Lord. All day, all night, Angels watching over me. Okay, that's a short song. Hope you liked it. Thank you for tuning in. Thank you for listening. Hope to see you back here again tomorrow for another meeting of Carolyn Speaks, State of the World. Remember, stay safe, take care of yourself and others, and remember especially, kindness goes a long way. Kindness goes a very long way. Thank you. Good night.